Hey, what's up, guys? Benny versus the Penny week number 5 is here. I'm David Gascon. Ben Maller is warming himself up right now. It's a brand new week. We got a bunch of games that are all over the place. Titans and Bills have been pushed back to Tuesday night. Broncos and Patriots are pushed from Sunday to Monday. That also means that the Bills next week are going to have a game with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's also been pushed back. That one's going to go from Thursday night football to Sunday. Got all kinds of things that are going down right now in the National Football League. But the coronavirus is here, so we got to make some changes on the fly as well. That includes kind of a bone-crushing loss from last week for Ben and also the Penny. Cam Newton was out. Patriots didn't have a chance against the Kansas City Chiefs, Brian Hoyer, and the rest is history. With that being said, this broadcast and the show is brought to you by Ecamm Live. It's a Mac-based application. For those that are aware or want to know more about it, you can click on the description of this show, and there'll be a link there for you. You can grab some new information on it. For those that are kind of aware of it, if you want to have anything that's streamed online, Zoom, Skype, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whatever it may be, Ecamm Live allows you to do that. It's a great vehicle. In fact, 30 different applications that you're able to utilize at one given time. And with that being said, you can do that at any given time. The videos are live and also on demand, so feel free to have anyone a part of this at any given time, which is great. Ben is actually got himself warmed up. We got him here in the pen. And with that being said, Ben Maller, what's up, my friend?
Gascon, here we are again. Look at this. Unbelievable. No, I had to switch something because I am a technical maven. You probably don't know this about me, but I'm a technical maven. So I was able to switch off the bad connection and onto the good connection. So this is going to be a very smooth operation, except when you're talking. Gascon. Now, do you know how to use the equipment on this? Because I know when you produced the show the other night, you had no idea how to use the phones. You had no concept how to use the phones.
Well, it's a good question. I think it's safe to say 5 weeks into this thing, I got a pretty good handle. I somehow found a way to make you look good, look presentable.
Not sound good. You didn't make me sound good, though. And you can't look good on radio. It's radio. There are no photos in radio. There's no pictures. It's only audio.
Yeah. Well, this is actually digital, so your audio can only come from the golden pipes that the man upstairs gave you. But everything else aesthetically looked pretty decent. I saw you were on social media earlier today panhandling for another hat from somebody else. So I guess
I was not. I was not panhandling for another hat. All that happened was I sent out a video of me wearing an Iowa Hawkeyes hat. Chris in Des Moines sent it in, a P1, a fan of the show.
Yeah.
And I'll wear any hat other than one that's purple and gold or one that has the Astros logo. Other than that, I'll pretty much wear almost anything within reason. The great thing about every other fan base in the Big Ten apparently hates Iowa. Every time I wear the hat Chris in Des Moines sent in, I get a bunch of people from Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio. Screw you! You should be wearing this hat. I'm like, all right. I'll go through. I don't care. I don't mind. I like college hats. I went to a great university, Saddleback College, as you know, a fine institution of higher learning. And although they've gone woke because they're changing their mascot.
So, what are they changing it to?
I don't know. They were the Gauchos, which apparently I thought was a celebratory thing, but apparently it's offensive. So they have to get rid of it.
All right.
Isn't that just a Argentinian cowboy or something like that, right? I don't know. How is that offensive?
I don't know, but we're definitely not making this show woke by any stretch of the imagination.
I actually have. See that? I don't know if you can see that there. I have the...
that thing's old.
Penny. I have more.
Do you collect anything? Do you collect like pennies or stamps or anything like that?
No. It's funny because when I was a kid... My grandfather, he owned a haberdashery in L.A. In the garment district, and I remember going there, and he collected stamps. Like this was a big deal, right? And so when he passed away, like we got most of his stamp collection. We didn't think anything of it. And then my dad's like into stamps, but I'm not. I used to collect baseball cards. That was my thing. I was going to get rich. I had the Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card. And then I found out years later that they just printed, endless amounts of those, so they're worth nothing. But that was that was my plan to get rich. And by the way, the chat room is up and going, Gascon. The people are speaking here. You want to hear what they have to say?
Well, the beautiful thing about that is I can control that. I can limit it. I can delete it at any given time. So unlike your show, this show will only carry on between you and I. We won't play to the rest. We will not break the fourth wall. We got some things we got to get into, first of all.
Oh, before we get, I want. First of all, hold on a second. All right, before you go to your little spiel here, this is a show about the people, for the people, by the people. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have no ability. I have no talent. I am just a voice representing the Maller militia. Yeah. I know you don't like the unwashed. You're west of the 405. You always wear a tie. Yeah. I'm wearing a Superman shirt. I'm relatable here, Gascon.
Let me see it.
Yeah, see that right there? Superman.
That's not bad.
But
that's good.
See? There you go.
I see more of like a Dean Cain guy as opposed to Christopher Reeve, but it's fine.
Christopher Reeve is the greatest Superman of all time. So
that's good.
There you go. Late Night Drug Tester says Ben owns the souls of failed producers. There you go.
Typically Monday through Friday with your shows, you'll open everything up 4 hours, and first 15, 20 minutes, you have usually an eloquent monologue. I was thinking about this before we kicked off the show today with Benny versus the Penny. Have you prepared, not a monologue, but have you prepared an apology note to your fans? Because the last week 4, was god-awful. And I think they deserve an apology from you for what you actually did to them and to the general public, if they tailed you at all. No pun intended.
Well, we always say at the beginning of Benny versus the Penny that this is, first of all, it's free. So it can't be that good because we're not charging for these picks. So it can't be great. And it is marginal. It is marginal handicapping advice. And last week did not go my way, Gascon, but it's the end of the season. It's by the end of the year. If you bet on every one of these games, will you end up ahead at the end of the year? That is the ultimate goal. That's why we do it every single week. No weeks off. No weeks off, Gascon. So, listen, I'm cool with it. And we sucked last week. We were terrible. We took a ride in the Vomit Comet, had some bad breaks, as you mentioned in the open there, Cam Newton.
That was awful.
We handicapped Cam Newton, and the Chiefs were there for the taking.
Yeah,
they were there for the taking in that game, and for 74% of the game was a 6-3 lead for the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs got a couple touchdowns late. But man,
Mahomes got nothing easy. I mean, it seemed like there's 8 defensive backs in the field every single snap for New England, and I mean that the sack at the end of the first half by Brian Hoyer was atrocious, and New England could have picked Mahomes off earlier, I think in the first or second quarter, but there was opportunity after opportunity that were just pissed away by the Patriots. So. But we have to go back. So let's take a peek at the week that was for all those that want to be reminded of what went down. You actually pushed again. You had two more pushes too.
Hold on a second. Queen Roxanne, will you please stop trying to flirt with Gascon in the chat? She's trying to flirt with you, Gascon.
She says the tie looks good. It
does not look good.
It does look good.
You look disheveled. Again,
it matches your shirt, dummy.
You're trying to get like a 1980s television detective look. Every week or you're like the stockbroker that just lost a ton of money on the stock market, and you're pulling your tie down, and you're a defeated person.
Yeah, I talked to Blind Scott a few days ago, so there might be some truth in what you just said, but we can get into that off air.
Yeah.
Anyways, you pushed a couple times last week. Chargers and Bucks, that went to 7, and then we had Baltimore and Washington. That was a backdoor cover. Baltimore won that one by 14 points.
Well, yeah, so those are 2 bad beats. You get that, or the Chargers were playing great, and it took a Tom Brady comeback there late to screw me over. So All right, so where are we at? How'd the Penny do? We gotta get on. The ship's gotta be sailing. We gotta leave the harbor here, Gascon. We've blown through 10 minutes. We haven't given one pick.
That's
fine. What the hell
are
we doing here?
But we're looking overall, as you can see. First week you were 10-5. Penny was 5-10. Last 2 weeks, 500 and below. 6-7-2 last week for you. Penny was the same exact thing. So you got a winning percentage right now, Ben, of 533. That's a hair over the Penny at 517.
Well, it's not good. I mean, and we're okay. We're not terrible, but the last couple weeks have been bad. But we will get it back, right? The great thing about gambling, there's always another game to bet on, unless there's an apocalypse, and then there's no games to bet on. Then you're betting on marble racing, right? You're betting on marble racing.
Yeah, and before we get into any of this, how are you capping games with and against the coronavirus? Because that obviously is coming to play now, especially with the Titans and Bills.
Well, yeah, like we're going to get to that. And my strategy is just to grab out of the sky. I'll just grab something out of the sky. There's no, how are you supposed to, I don't know who's going to play for Tennessee.
Right.
It's, you do as much as you can do, and then that's it. I mean, there's no way to really know we're doing this on Friday.
Yeah.
You get the whole weekend. There could be 7 more guys get the corona, and then they're not able to play. So there's no way to do it. But can we get to the games now, Gascon?
Yeah, you're loud and proud. So let's do this thing. Where do you want to start first?
All right, let's start out in Atlanta, Carolina, at the Atlanta Falcons. Carolina 2-2. The Falcons come in here at 0-4. It is on Fox. It is on Fox. You know who's calling this game?
This is unfortunate. This could be a Dick Stockton game.
No, in fact, Dick Stockton not on the schedule this weekend. How about that?
You baited me in that one. All right, so I don't know. Is Brady Quinn at least color analyst in this one or no?
Our colleague, no, he's not part of this. This is a Chris Myers, my former partner, Gascon, the great Chris Myers. I kid because I care. Yeah. And Brock Heward, former quarterback Brock Heward. And the Falcons opened a 2.5-point favorite. They are currently favored by 1 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a dome, but it'll be rainy in Atlanta, 75 degrees. At kickoff in this game, I'm going to take Carolina. I went back and forth. At one point in the middle of the week, I was like, all right, I'm going to take the Falcons. And then I kept looking at the numbers, and I said, I can't take it. I can't take Atlanta. Carolina's won back-to-back games. They were supposed to suck this season. They've been more than holding their own. They had one bad beat, and they also had a couple of games here where they won. They beat Arizona, beat your guy Alligator Arms Murray last game. And so they had lost 10 games prior to that under Ron Rivera and to begin the season, but they won back-to-back. So they are what's known as now an overachieving team. I like overachieving teams. Teddy Bridgewater, just what I expect him to be, just as advertised for Carolina. He's an average starting quarterback in the NFL. You can win. You can be a 500-type team with an average quarterback, and that's what Teddy Bridgewater is. And Carolina, they've won these last 2 games. Everyone thought they were going to go to hell in a handbasket without Christian McCaffrey. That has not happened. And so you've got Bridgewater ranked 16th among the quarterbacks, and he's right there. He's on the same level with Phillip Rivers and Matthew Stafford, those kind of players. And then the second thing, Atlanta, they actually have a possibility. The reason I was somewhat on the side of Atlanta, there's an opportunity here for the Falcons to get back into at least a wild card race here, even though they're 0-4. They have a very soft schedule. Next 5 weeks, among the games the next 5 weeks, the Falcons play Carolina twice. You figure they're about the same. They've got the Lions and your Broncos who blow as well, and they also have a trip to Minnesota. So that is a manageable schedule. But they're a bad team. And the other reason I was thinking about taking Atlanta is because Matt Ryan has dominated Carolina in recent times. In fact, Atlanta has won 5 straight games against the Panthers, 8 of the last 9. But I say that NC, I just cannot trust the Falcons defense. Carolina's going to give, a solid effort on both sides of the ball. Atlanta, not only do they have bad defensive numbers, they have injuries piling up. It's a short week. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers 32 and the Atlanta Falcons 26. And the penny picks.
Ben, the penny is going with the Atlanta Falcons this one. Telling you right off the bat.
All right, we move on now. Las Vegas at Kansas City. And this game's on CBS. Ian Eagle and Charles Davis, formerly of Fox, have the call. Vegas comes in 2-2. The Chiefs 4-0. And this is a monster point spread. This game, 11.5 points. 11.5 points. The Chiefs are favorites. It's going to be sunny, 78 degrees at kickoff at Arrowhead Stadium as the Raiders are the pick. I'm going to take the Raiders in this game. Now, as you know, if you listen to this and you watch Benny versus the Penny over the years, that I have a couple of gambling principles that I have always followed here, that, and they're both combined and intermingled in this matchup. Anytime you get over a touchdown in a divisional game, you should not ask any questions. You take the points, you be happy with that. And also, over the long term, double-digit dogs have been very good for underdog gamblers. I mean, very, very good. It's a very profitable way to approach gambling. You're taking the lesser team, but you're getting such a big bonus taking all those points. The Raiders have been smacked around the last couple of weeks. They got an extra day to prepare compared to Kansas City because they were forced to play the Monday night game. Now, I am a little concerned about Butterfingers Derek Carr. Not going to lie about that. And I'm interested to see what the Raiders do. How obtuse is the Raider coaching staff? Because last week, Bill Belichick, if you saw what he did, he used 6 defensive backs. He dropped 7 people in coverage, but it was all around the line of scrimmage because most of the passes that Patrick Mahomes throws are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they dared him to throw the deep ball. And for 75% of that game, the Patriots, with all those second backup guys the Patriots lost most of their defense to the coronavirus, and they were matching the Chiefs blow for blow defensively. So the Raiders, you got to think they're going to attempt to copy that in this particular game. And we'll see. I know Roberto hates Paul Gunther, the defensive coordinator, thinks he's an idiot, and will not mimic this, but we will find out. And now, listen, you got to make Mahomes dominate off zone. And it's the Chiefs have really owned, especially since Andy Reid took over. Did you see this stat? Since Andy Reid became head coach in 2013, the Raiders and Chiefs rivalry, the Chiefs have won 7 straight at home against the Raiders. They're 12-2 since Andy Reid took over as coach. That is insanity, how good it is. But check this out, Gascon. The Raiders, as a double-digit dog, as they are in this game, have a .581 winning percentage over the last decade. They have been a very good bet in this spot. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, but I'll take the Raiders to get the backdoor cover. Chiefs 36, Raiders 27.
Penny is going with the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. 2 picks opposite of you.
All right, now Shady Sean says that Dan Quinn will be on the Fox lot next Sunday with Jay Glazer. I don't think I can. I don't know. Jay is small, but I don't know that he's that small. I don't know that he's. They're
gonna have too many bald white guys on there.
That's true. A late night. I knew Jay when I first met Jay. He wasn't a bodybuilder guy. He was just like normal. He didn't have the big build. He's really bulked out though, man. He's into it. He loves the working out.
He's got his own gym too, right?
Does he have his own gym?
Yeah, I think he's got his own gym up in like North Hollywood.
You'll be happy to know I'm looking at the chat here, and Flunky Flashman loves me, so that's good. And Jimbo has checked in, so you know this show's big tonight when Jimbo and Mr. Luciano are in there. This is a big night. Yeah. Gio says barbecue sales in Kansas City are also up since Andy Reid took over. There you go.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, what's next? What do we have here, Gascon? Let's go to the Rams, the LA Rams against the Washington team to be named later, formerly known as the Redskins. It is on Fox. Rams are 3-1. Washington is 1-3. Brandon Godden and Daryl Moose Johnston have the call. Now, the Rams opened up a 9.5-point favorite. They're at 8.5. It's going to be mostly cloudy, 72 degrees at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. And I am going to take Washington in this game. And this is another one of those games I was trying to find a way to take the Rams because the Rams are so much better than Washington, but I couldn't do it. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to take the Washington team. Now, the Rams, they had their first stink bomb of the week against the Giants. They still won, right? I don't count the Buffalo game as a stink bomb because they came back in that game and they had the lead in the fourth quarter. But how will the Rams rebound this week? I'm expecting a crisper performance, but that doesn't mean they're going to cover the number. The Rams, so far through the first 25% of the season, have the 7th ranked offense. They're number 7 in offense. Washington has the 30th ranked offense. And the one saving grace for Washington is their defense, which is ranked 7th in total defense, meaning yards allowed, but their scoring defense, they're 22nd. And the Rams defensively have been very good. The Rams are number 6 in scoring defense, although you look at some of the competition, that explains that. The wild card, and the reason I'm putting some faith in Washington, I love underdogs, and you've got Kyle Allen, who's taking over, and Dwayne Haskins deserved to be benched. It's not racism. He was bad at his job, and he'll get another opportunity down the line. But you don't just keep sending this guy out there when he's drowning, and that's exactly what Haskins was doing. And so I look at Kyle Allen. At worst here, it is a lateral move. He's been erratic as well. He had 3 really good games in Carolina. The rest of it was not very good at all. And Haskins was just consistently inconsistent himself. So the former Redskins have lost 3 straight games by 14 or more points. But again, anytime you get over a touchdown, generally speaking, you take it, especially in a divisional game. This is not a divisional game, but it is, Gascon, a look-ahead situation because I believe the Rams have the 49ers next game. That is a big game for them in the NFC West. So you don't get up for Washington, but you got the Niners straight ahead. I'm going to take the Rams to win, but not cover. Rams 30, the former Redskins 24.
And the penny is going with the LA Rams. They've been pretty good this year, at least in terms of against the spreads. I'm just a little shocked that you didn't take them.
Alf, the great opiner, says that Jalen Ramsey will be pile driving again this week.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Did you see that? What's his name? The guy that he was getting into the dust up with from the Giants, Golden Tate, wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
He pulled the old. I don't want to talk about the past. I'm moving forward. That kind of crap.
Too bad it wasn't like Aqib Talib that was there ripping off gold chains off of somebody like we saw a few years ago when he was in Denver. That would have been nice.
The late night drug tester says that I am handing out football picks like Costco used to give away free samples.
Back in the day, that was January, February for you?
Man, I used to go to Costco every Saturday. I go to multiple Costcos sometimes to get samples. I would roam around Costco. I had a whole rotation. There's 2 Costcos kind of near where I live. And I would go to one if the samples were good. I would go to the other one because every Costco in that area will have the same samples.
So you would do this on Saturdays, like during college football season Saturdays, or?
I'd take a half hour and I'd go to Costco, and then I'd be home by the time the really good games start in college football. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
No wonder you were so big back in the day.
Wow. That's a low blow by you. How dare you?
No. It's just you go big, you go home, right?
Are you keeping track of all these picks, by the way?
Yeah, Carolina Raiders and Washington football team so far. Yeah, of course I'm keeping track of them. Last week you were 6-7-2. Don't worry about my counting. Worry about your picking. Jesus Christ.
Maybe if I lose this week, we'll do Benny versus the Dime. We'll do Benny versus the Dime, and that'll be next week. Yeah,
we could do Benny. We could do Benny versus Bitcoin. How about that?
Well, that would be a money-making opportunity. All right, next game up for us: Jacksonville at Houston. Jacksonville 1-3, Houston 0-4.
This is ugly.
It's on CBS. Andrew Catalan and James Lofton have the call. Now, the game opened up. The Texans a 7-point favorite. Houston is favored by 5 right now at NRG Stadium. It'll be 84 degrees, partly sunny in the greater Houston area. This doesn't really matter because it's a dome, although they've got the retractable situation going on there. I'm gonna take the Texans in this game, and I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. The Texans, I like the bump from the coaching change because the players, even though Bill O'Brien deserved to be fired because he was bad at his job, the players did not like him. Most players don't like their coaches when they're losing. So this is an opportunity to stick it to Bill O'Brien and come out and have a big performance for Romeo Crennel. So I buy into that a little bit, but mostly this is a nice, soft landing spot. Deshaun Watson continues to be a mistake-filled mess. He leads the NFL coming into the weekend in sacks. The Texans' offense is 27th in yards per game. That is terrible. So how are they favored by 5? Well, the reason is because of public perception, but it's also because of Jacksonville. And I don't have any faith in Jacksonville. I liked them early in the season. I got a good win with them against the Indianapolis Colts back in week 1. But their defense is abysmal. I love Gardner Minshew. He's still fun to watch. The Jags defense, though, is the personification of a septic tank. Okay, they are a septic tank. They are 27th in defense, giving up 32 points per game. The Texans have won the last 4 games against Jacksonville by a combined 54 points. This has lopsided written all over it. And then people will say the Texans are back because they won this game. They're not back. But I'll take Houston 30 and Jacksonville 20, your final.
Little shocking you did that, but the penny is also going with the Houston Texans. You had Minshew mania for like a quick second, but you did this last season too. So are you like finally divorced from Gardner Minshew or what?
No, I like the redneck Gardner Minshew. The problem with Minshew is you still have to play defense, and I don't think he can play defense. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Arizona 2-2 at the New York Jets 0-4. It's on Fox. You better watch. Kevin Kugler and Chris Spielman have the call on the boob tube, and the Cardinals a touchdown favorite on the road in New Jersey. Cardinals opened up 7.5 points. Cloudy 66 degrees at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. I'm going to take the Jets in this game. I'm going to take the Jets. This matchup, you would assume, is just what the doctor ordered. Many people are assuming that Kyler Murray is going to come out guns a-blazing here. But I know guys like you, Gascon, will not admit this, but Kyler Murray has been a little bit of a mess. Of course, everything he does is little. He's averaged 6.4 yards per attempt. That is the same as Dwayne Haskins, who just got benched in Washington. And Murray is the 23rd ranked quarterback in the NFL. What happened to those Kyler Murray for MVP signs you had on your front lawn there, Gaston?
I don't know, but I'm happy you brought that up because you just had a monologue 2 days ago defending Dwayne Haskins for not getting a fair shake in that battle in Washington.
That's bullcrap. You didn't listen to the monologue. The monologue was he deserves to be benched. That was the monologue.
I was working that night. I should know if I was listening or not.
You were not listening. You were trying to figure out. You were reading the manual on how to answer the phones.
That's
you couldn't figure it out. So you panicked and you're like, okay, I'm going to ban all these great celebrity callers from calling the show. And you had a little hissy fit. You had your LeBron James hissy fit. I know what you did.
It was probably one of the easiest nights I've ever worked in my career. It was great. It was impeccable timing by me to work that night. Abort every phone call that came in and pay attention to you. Anyways, going back to Arizona.
No. Hold on a second. Wait. I can't let this go. All right. I would like to thank you for giving me the heads up. Hey Ben, no calls tonight. We'll just do the talking. No calls. No, you went to the station. You figured out I can't use the phones, and so you're like, okay, I'll put it on cruise control. I'll start loafing around the radio station.
Every day I wake up, there's always a text message from you that says, I am on the marquee. Don't forget that. So it's the Ben Maller show. It's the Ben Maller show. It's not the Ben Maller and toothless listeners calling in show.
Wow.
That's
toothless listeners.
That is what it is. It's the Ben Maller show. It's not the drunks that are coming in to call. It's not the crackheads that are coming in. It's the Ben Maller show. If you want callers, just let me know next time. I'll open up those phone lines, get the syringes out, and the whole 9 yards. Anyways, you are digressing. Focus on the Jets and Cardinals right now.
All right. You were going to say something brilliant about Arizona and how wonderful they are and all that?
I was just asking you if they were going to play this game because their entire locker room was cleared out. The Jets were today, and they were doing everything virtually.
Well, the Jets said they are planning on playing, right. So we're gonna handicap the game like they're playing, and I'm gonna take the Jets. Arizona has now lost to the Lions in Carolina, so if you lose to Detroit and Carolina, you can certainly lose to the Jets, and that's just the last 2 weeks. Under Cliff Kingsbury, Arizona has a .250 winning percentage as a favorite. That's not good. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and sing the virtues of the Jets. They're a bad team. They suck in just about every area. But one of the things I actually like, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I like Joe Flacco more than Sam Darnold. And Joe Flacco's going to play this game. But really, you're talking about a home underdog getting a touchdown. And as long as you play hard, and I realize that's a big if under Adam Gase because his teams don't usually play hard, but you should be able to hang around and, hey, maybe they'll go into this game. The Arizona guys will be scared to tackle the Jets because they'll think the Jets have the corona or something like that, and then the advantage goes to the Jets. But no, listen, I'll serious this. I'm going to take Arizona to win, but I'm going to take the Jets to cover. Arizona 27, the Jets 21.
Man. Got a little applause from the fans there for that. I don't know why, but the penny's going with the Arizona Cardinals.
By the way, Rich points out in the chat that he says, hey, he says, I'm only missing 3 teeth. So get it right, Gascon.
He could be a hockey player then. That's acceptable. It's all good.
Here's a guy that points out, is it Choco? He says, has that guy ever listened to Ben's show? No. None of these people listen to the show. These guys, I gotta tell you, when I used to fill in and I was a producer in radio, I was so paranoid of doing a good job. I would always listen to the shows I was producing to fill in on. Yeah. None of you guys listen. None of you guys. You have no clue what's going on. How dare you?
That's true. I unfortunately have to listen. Then I have to proofread your tweets. I have to proofread some of the stuff that you do on the rundown, on your monologues. I have to change some wording around. I guess I'm like morally compelled to support you in any kind of capacity, which is really unfortunate because there's no kind of give and take in any of this, but that's fine. It's fine.
You want me to get my violin out here again?
You can. Yes. Well, speaking of violin, yes. I think it's trivia time, right?
Trivia. Let's get trivial. So listen up in the chat. Stop sending your perverted jokes out.
And Ben, since you are a professional with good copy skills, it's brought to you by who?
It is made possible in part by our friends at Fanatics. That's right, Fanatics. We have partnered with Fanatics here on Benny versus the Penny. Remember, as you probably figured out by now, this is not a highly produced network program, all right? This is a mom and pop operation. We have gone rogue. We're not representing the people we usually work for. This is a standalone operation. So the only way we get anything out of this is if you help us out a little bit, and that's through people like Fanatics. They are offering all of the coolest and latest sports apparel. I saw Robbie, the Mariner fan, got a Josh Allen autograph photo.
That's kind of cool.
Robbie's a piece of work, man. He loves Josh Allen. He loves him some Josh Allen. Yeah. And they've got great prices on Fanatics. They got all kinds of hats. I think of them more for like the hats and the wardrobe, but they got everything on there. It's just insane. So the key to this, though, to help us out, I mean, you should buy something anyway when you want to buy some sports memorabilia. I got a bunch of hats and stuff. It's all those things are available on Fanatics. But you click our link. It's right there in the description box. It's the first link from the top of the page down there. And if you order it after clicking the link, we get credit. If you don't do that, then Fanatics gets credit and we don't get any credit. So, I mean, I'm not asking you to buy something if you don't need it, but if you're going to buy something anyway, not that I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be past me to ask you to buy something that don't need. I've done it before, but no, I mean, if you're going to buy a hat or a shirt or, maybe the holidays are not that far away, you're going to buy something for somebody, just do it on the Fanatics link and we get a little taste and it's good. So.
Yeah. So here we go. So the Who Am I game, Ben,
I got some answers here. Now, what's the question again?
So last time the Buffalo Bills started a season 5-0 was back in 1991. Jim Kelly and the K-Gun. That season they finished 13-3. I was second on the team in receiving yards with 1,072 yards and 8 touchdowns. Who am I?
All right, Rich says Hands of Stone. Lee Evans is the answer.
No, that's good.
Jimbo's going, here's a good one. Don Beebe. Do you remember Don Beebe?
I do remember Don Beebe, yeah. Don Beebe had the double helmet, right? The double shell?
Yeah. He was like that guy from the old movie Spaceballs. Remember the movie Spaceballs?
Is it Rick Moranis?
Yeah.
He got jumped 2 weeks ago in New York. Did you see that?
Oh, that would never happen in New York. Come on, man. New York City, there's no crime there.
Yeah, he got mugged.
No crime in L.A. either, right? That doesn't happen. Yeah. Alf, the alien opiner, says we want Maller merchandise. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, what's the answer? Reveal answers.
We got Hands of Stone, Lee Evans, you said. Nobody else guessing on this one or what?
House Ballard was guessed by Choco. Yeah.
All right.
You want to sit here and wait till we get the proper number of guesses?
But the answer is James Lofton, who finished second behind Andre Reed in receiving yards that year. So,
all right. Alf, the alien opiner, says, Ben, where is your mic flag? Well, I'm using a different microphone here. I have in the studio, the equipment I use for the radio show is over here. The equipment I use for the podcast TV thing is over here. So
you're in a huge studio. We can see that with your nice apparel in the back.
You like that? Look at that. Yeah. Beautiful skyline showcase right here. I'm in the penthouse, right? Come on.
Rooftop studio. That's great, man. Yeah. Looking over the entire coastline. So we go from Who Am I to what are we doing? We're going to Pittsburgh, right?
Yes, Philadelphia at Pittsburgh. Now, the famous story, I guarantee this will be brought up on the broadcast, was it World War II? Remember when the Eagles and Steelers joined together? What were they called? The Steagles? Was that what they were called? You know that story, right?
What year is it?
I don't remember exactly when, but it was during a world war. They combined the Philadelphia and Pittsburgh team, and they called them the Steagles. I'm almost positive. Anyway, Philadelphia is 1-2-1. Pittsburgh is 3-0. It's on Fox. Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma have the call. And the Steelers, a touchdown favorite in this game. Cloudy 70 degrees at kickoff at Heinz Field. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to lay the 7 points in this game. Now, first of all, Doug Peterson has actually done a very good job as a road underdog. In fact, since he took over, the Philadelphia Eagles have a .550 winning percentage as a road dog ever since then. But that's back in 2016, so it's a pretty long sample size. That said, though, you're not playing Nick Mullins, right? You're not playing Nick Mullins this week, who Philadelphia was able to beat last week. I don't trust Carson Wentz in the head-to-head matchup at quarterback. And I love the Pittsburgh defense. And if you're going to lay a 7-point number, you got to have an elite defense for me to be comfortable doing that most of the time. The Steelers have the top defense for my money, pound for pound, in the NFL. And Roethlisberger looks better than expected. Now, this is a big number. And Mike Tomlin, as a coach of the Steelers, since he took over, he's got a .521 winning percentage as a home favorite. However, the last 3 seasons, Pittsburgh, with Roethlisberger hurt a lot of that time, Pittsburgh is just 6-8 against the spread in that type of situation. But I'm going to take the more talented team. I'm going to take the better defensive team. I'm going to take the healthier team. I saw TJ Watt's good to go in this game. Steelers 27, Eagles 13.
Ben, the Penny's going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Having a week off certainly helps too, so they're going with Pittsburgh.
That's right. Pittsburgh not having to play, and that's a good point as well. And who did I see here? Alex the dog says he's going to take a screenshot of my penthouse view right here. Look at this beautiful penthouse. Wonderful. And he's going to send it to Weedman just to piss him off so he thinks that I have money.
Yeah, you had the reminder, right? You mentioned, I think yesterday, you said, 20% of the people will believe pretty much anything that you say? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 20% will believe absolutely anything.
Probably shouldn't trash producers then as much.
Alf, the alien opiner, says Philadelphia, Pittsburgh Steagles, 1943.
That's a good
like
job.
That for immense football knowledge.
It's good.
And it was World War II, too. Okay. Look at that. I haven't forgotten everything. All right, here we go. Next up, Cincinnati, the Natty. Matty in the Natty. 1-2-1. We got the Cincinnati Bros, just Josh and Justin in Cincinnati. Baltimore 3-1. It's on CBS. Greg Gumbel and Rich Gannon have the call on CBS. I'm gonna take the Ravens. The Ravens are a 13-point favorite in this game at M&T Bank Stadium. Actually, no, I'm not taking that. Did I say the Ravens? The Ravens are favored. I'm taking the Bengals. English, can you speak it? Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals since Joe Burrow took over. The Bengals, I know it's only 4 games, but they're tied for the second best record so far against the spread. Cincinnati has defied the number. They're 3-1 is their record against the spread. And I know it's a small sample size, but it's encouraging. And check this out. The Ravens, they have become what we thought they were going to be when Lamar Jackson took over, a one-dimensional team. They're 27th in passing yards per game. 27th in the NFL, Baltimore is in passing yards per game. They are 3rd in rushing. The Bengals, here's the problem. Now, I'm taking Cincinnati, but the Bengals have been the 27th ranked run defense. Yeah, so that is a mismatch, and I'm gambling on a backdoor cover here. I'm also gambling that Lamar Jackson is actually more hurt than the Ravens are letting on. I know he missed practice during the week. He came back. He's expected to play in the game. I believe the Ravens are downplaying what's going on here. I'm a skeptic on that. And while Baltimore has absolutely gorged on the bad teams since Lamar Jackson took over as a full-time starter in 2019, the Ravens have not been a good bet as a home favorite. Baltimore is just 3-6 against the spread as a home favorite with Lamar Jackson as quarterback. And this is a massive number. We saw a backdoor cover against Baltimore last week. That one hurt me. This one's going to help me. Ravens 34 and the Bengals 24. The final?
Penny is also following you on this one, going with the Cincinnati Bengals. Isn't it odd, though, in 2020, of all things to happen, the Bengals are actually a must-watch team with Joe Burrow at quarterback?
Yeah, well, eventually we'll get tired of Joe Burrow and we'll start to hate him, but we're still in the honeymoon stage with Joe Burrow at this point. We're still in the honeymoon stage.
Are there any quarterbacks that you like in the AFC North?
Let me think here. You got Roethlisberger,
Lamar Jackson, and Baker
Mayfield. No, the only one I like is Joe Burrow.
It's got to be the chosen one. You dump on Kyler Murray and you dump on Deshaun Watson, so you at least got to have one. You got to have at least one shining night, right?
Well, I don't hate all quarterbacks. I mean, I pick and choose. There's not many I like, though. Peyton Manning was a bum. Overrated. One of the most overrated players in NFL history, Peyton Manning.
Walking into the Hall of Fame, walking into Canton with a nice blazer on.
Yeah. Is he going to he's going to bring a little doggy bag from the Geyer Clinic with him, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a documentary called The Dark Side. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
I don't know what to talk about that.
I think it was the last 10 minutes of that are about Peyton Manning. I remember. Yeah. Just Josh says, "Hoo-day!" See, the Cincinnati Bros, man. These guys got my back.
Yeah, they should.
I want you to know, if it hadn't been for this corona, I had 2 trips in my head.
Right.
Back in January, I was like, I'm going to go to Minnesota and hang out with my people in Minnesota, and I got to get to Cincinnati because we did Seattle and Boston last year.
Right.
I wanted to go to Minnesota and Cincinnati. And obviously that didn't happen, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, but hopefully in 2021.
You did the 2 trips last year, Seattle that you couldn't get into, and then Boston where you got kicked out of a radio station, right?
No, I didn't get kicked out of a radio station.
I think I got kicked out of a radio station. Like, what was the WEEI you got kicked out of? Evicted? Punted?
Hey, Mama Luke, let me explain something to you here, Gascon. My show, the Ben Maller Show, which actually pays me a lot more than WEEI ever paid me, was picked up by their blood rival called the Sports Hub, which is 98.5 on the FM dial in Boston. Yeah. And so as much as WEEI wanted to keep me, there's these things called radio wars in market. I'm going to teach you about the radio business, Gascon.
Please do.
And if you're both competing for the same audience, right, you can't have one guy on both stations. That's not allowed. And so the Sports Hub didn't want me to work at WEEI anymore. WEEI was like, we'll put you on, but there was a conflict, and so I couldn't do it. And so I followed the money. Okay. They flew me back. They flew me. I could have moved to Boston and been a local Boston radio hack if I had so chosen. I decided to stay at Fox, though.
Well, you got evicted.
Don't shake your head. I didn't get evicted.
You got evicted.
We had a great time. We had Blind Scott came down there. We had our Providence contingent. We had that nice couple that came down from the Cape. Who else did we have? We had Wayne from Southie. Wayne from Southie was in there. He was great.
Riveting time.
Hey, Maller. I did it for Maller. I haven't had a drink in 7 years.
Riveting time.
You don't know what it's like to hang out with the people, Gascon. You don't understand how cool it is, man. Bad job by you.
Anyways, we go from that to San Francisco 49ers and Dolphins, yes?
Yes, Santa Clara is the site. We start the late games, and the Niners, a 9-point favorite in this game. It's on Fox. Adam Amin. Did I get it right?
You got that right.
I got it right. It only took me 5 minutes. Take that, Adam. Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth have the call. Santa Clara's 2-2. Miami 1-3. I mentioned the 49ers, a 9-point favorite. Sunny and 72 degrees in Northern California at Levi's Stadium. I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game. I'm going to take Miami. Now, I did a rant earlier this week, and I believe this to be true, that Tua Tagovailoa should be the starting quarterback, but instead they're going with Ryan Fitzpatrick again. That's a mistake, but I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm taking the Dolphins in this game. I believe the point spread is inflated. Also, Brian Flores, he's only been in Miami a short time, but he has been biting as a dog. The dogs are a-biting. And Brian Flores is 6-4 against the spread as a road underdog since he took over. That's a 60% winning percentage, 600 winning percentage. That's great. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's got a bad ankle. He is expected back this week. But what about the rust? What about the rust? You got to look at that. And so if this guy plays, how effective is he going to be throughout the course of the game? Everyone's loading up on the Niners. I don't get it. The Niners, they got injuries across the board. They're not getting all those guys back this week. Now, that said, the Niners are going to win the game. But, again, this is a game where the Dolphins will hang around. They'll have a chance in the second half. 49ers 30. Dolphins 23.
Penny is going with San Francisco.
All right. Hold on a sec. Good evening, fellas. My Braves are going to wipe the floor with that Dodger hat you got on. You're going to do the Falcon Go guy. You're going to do the Tomahawk Chalk, the chop. Na 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 na. Just like that, right?
That's actually a perfect segue for him to.
Is that offensive? Is that wrong?
Well, we're in 2020, so it might be offensive. You have to check back with me after November the 3rd.
Okay. Yes. Now, after November 3rd, are we going to be able to go to restaurants again and stuff like that in LA, or how's that going to work?
It all depends.
Okay.
Everything is conditional for right now, anyway.
I understand. I understand. All right. What do we have another trivia here?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go trivia number 2. Since Falcon guy brought it up, he can go buy himself an Atlanta Braves hat, courtesy of Fanatics. Ben, how about this? The Philadelphia Eagles are tied for the league lead with 17 sacks heading into week number 5. I was the last Eagles player to lead the league in sacks. Who am I? Brought to you, of course, by Fanatics. It's in the description, but if you guys want to support the show, you click on that link, buy anything that you want on Fanatics. Usually at great discounted rates. Shipping sometimes is included and free of charge if you buy anything over $50 or $75, but it helps ignite this show, support us at any given time. But if you click on that link, you buy something, we do get a little bit of credit. And some of the proceeds could go towards a new hat for Ben. I know you're panhandling for something in the college ranks, but maybe something upgraded in Major League Baseball. We'll see.
What baseball hat? You know what I would? You know the hat I would like to get that I haven't been able to find. If anybody knows, I want to get. I have the baseball hat with the MLB logo on it.
Yeah.
I have an NBA hat with the NBA logo, but they ran out of the NFL Shield hat. You know that Shield hat? I want to get one of those Shield hats.
Is that the hat?
Would be perfect.
Is that the hat that Rob Lowe was wearing a few years ago? The black one? And everyone's like, "Is that an official?"
Yeah. I think it's the same one, but they don't have it in my size. I've been trying to find it, and they don't have it. So I should look on Fanatics. Maybe they have it on there, but I have not been able to find it. Do we get credit if I buy something on Fanatics? Do we get some of that money on the Fanatics deal? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I mean, you can have Jay Scoop buy you one. I know he's fond of buying you first class gifts. That's fine.
You're such a dick.
If you like to,
you're a world class dick. Is what you are, and I don't mean Dick and Dayton. Okay, I don't mean Dick and Dayton.
Can we get to some of the answers? Who do you got? What are some of the guesses on here?
Who else do we have? Let's see. Mr. Luciano says David is a hater. That is true. Is it Corky from Maine? I think that is Corky from Maine. I think Corky from Maine was the one that sent that. Who else do we have here? Page down. Reggie White was guessed.
Close.
Pete in Pittsburgh, also known as the unknown comic from Alf the Alien Opiner. That was also guessed. Conor McGregor from Mr. Luciano. The great Conor McGregor. All right, Gascon.
You're so lazy. You don't even like scrolling up to do any of this. You don't like reading any of the answers. Are they not permitted on here? Unbelievable. See what happens on a Friday.
I'm trying to keep things moving, Gascon.
All of a sudden you're worried about
No, let me say. I got dinner plans. I got to drive to see my dad tonight and have dinner with my old man in Orange County because in L.A., none of the restaurants are open in LA, so I got to go to Orange County to actually have a meal at a restaurant like a normal human being. And I know, have to put on your Laker purple and gold pom-poms and rah-rah. You'll be one of 3 people watching that NBA game tonight. I'll be checking out, and I actually have it on over the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. We got Game 5 action. Game 5 action. The winner takes on the Astros. Oh, by the way, you guys in the militia, if you're watching the show live, you're a P1. I sent out a story, the video from the monologue I did about the Astros cheating, and the guys in Houston are so upset. It's hilarious. You should see some of the reactions. Oh my God!
I saw I saw one of the local radio stations said that you were triggered by all of it.
Yeah, not only that, that's the affiliate that I'm on.
Oh, no
that's
kidding.
Our affiliate, 790 in Houston. The guy running their Twitter account was busting my balls, which I'm fine with. But I have, we have guys in Houston that tell me it's the funniest thing in the world, Gascon. So they'll do, the Astros are on our affiliate. My show is carried on the Houston Astros flagship radio station in Houston. And so they'll get done with their Astro propaganda, like Astro Talk. They'll flip on the network, the Fox Sports Radio, and the Ben Maller show, and I'll be just killing the Astros right after Astro Talk. It's outstanding. And they're also the Houston Rockets station. So when the Rockets play, I'll be bashing them, and it's just a wonderful situation.
But it's a good change of pace, right? Because most of the local stations, they usually suck up to their teams anyway if they're in the hawk with them. So
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's tribalism. It's rah team. We love you. It's that, you're either with us or you're against us. Did you give the answer? I wasn't listening. Did you give the answer to the question already?
I didn't. You were too busy talking. It was Clyde Simmons. He had 19 back in 1992. So.
All right, let's keep it going. New York Giants at Dallas. The Giants 0-4. Dallas 1-3. It is on Sirius with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. So Dallas, they are a 9.5-point favorite. Are you kidding me? A 9.5-point favorite. It'll be sunny, 97 degrees at kickoff at AT&T Stadium. Jerry's World. Now, I'm going to take the Giants in this game, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the Cowboy defense is pretty much all that needs to be said here. The Cowboys have the worst defense in the NFL. Lackluster does not do them justice, okay? I think all these guys had their balls cut off before the season because they forgot how to tackle. My God. And you would think there's no way the Giants, in an anemic offense like the Giants, can score, but you're playing the Cowboys, right? You're playing the Cowboys. And here's a fun fact. Dakota Prescott, in his career, David, check this out. Since he became quarterback of the Cowboys, Dallas is 13-15-1 against the spread as a home favorite. They have a losing record as a home favorite in that time against the number. And Daniel Jones is the runt of the litter. I am not going to sell him. He's a mistake waiting to happen. You should have some success. The Giants have fought back. They're not good. They actually gave the Rams a game. Last week, which gives me some hope. But they have been terrible as an underdog. The Giants are 0-7 against the spread since the start of last year as a dog. But to me, the great equalizer is inadequate, paper-thin Dallas defense. There's no way that I can take what I believe is the worst defense in the NFL next to Atlanta and lay almost double digits. I'll take the Cowboys 34, Giants 30.
Penny is actually going with the Dallas Cowboys. They're averaging over 500 yards of offense per game, but like you said, their defense, giving it, 30 points or more in the last 3 games here in 2020? It's pretty fucking brutal.
I was just thinking, Rays game here, the Yankees are up 1-0 right now. It's in the middle innings.
Yeah.
If the Yankees win, I'm going to have to be a Yankee fan for the week. And then I'm going to have to immediately turn into enemy of the Yankees when the Dodgers and Yankees play in the World Series. So this is going to be a very awkward juxtaposition for me to go from Yankee apologist for a week. We should get John Sterling on the podcast, is what we ought to do if you do it next week. Our buddy John Sterling.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's weird, though, because you got to do the balancing act because you have the Yankees on one hand, but then you went batshit crazy earlier in this season against Blake Snell. So even if Tampa wins, that's another guy that you had on the dartboard too.
Well, he put himself on the dartboard. The guy's a pussy willow. He blocked me. He's if you go to the ice cream shop, he's soft served. That's what that man is. Rob in Vegas has entered the chat. By the way, you guys, I see we've had a good audience. I think we've got more people watching now. The audience is kind of come and gone here. But when you go into the chat, click the thumbs up there. I know it seems stupid because who the hell cares? But that does help us out.
Yep.
Thumbs up. Let people know you like the crap that you're watching right here on a Friday night. We're doing it live or whenever you consume it over the weekend. What's that, Gascon?
Give a thumbs up for the crap that you're watching. I hope you'd speak a little bit more nicer about the material we're putting out there right now.
Well, I put my work into it, but you're a little lackadaisical here, Gascon.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it. You haven't given me any compliments today on my attire either, which is a little annoying.
I said you look like a 1980s TV cop.
I said compliment. I said compliment.
That is a compliment. You know how many cool TV shows in the night? I wanted to be a police officer when I was a kid. A lot of it was because of the TV shows that were on celebrating the police, right?
Were you a big fan of T.J. Hooker?
No. I liked SWAT, the TV show SWAT.
Was good. Magnum P.I.?
Magnum P.I. I watched, although that was mostly for the girls. as Magnum would drive around in that Corvette, right?
I know it's not a cop show per se, but what about Knight Rider?
I like Knight Rider.
Yeah,
I like Knight Rider. That was cool. That was vintage television.
Yeah.
But if I had the internet, I would not be watching any of that. Of course, I would. You don't have to watch cheesy TV shows.
Yeah,
I watched all.
You do?
Yeah. What did you watch, Gascon?
I watched the same stuff you watched. I mean, pretty much the same thing, but mostly sports. That was like the golden era of sports back in the days, like the 80s and 90s. I mean, Jordan finally getting over the top in the 90s, and
everything's relative. Like the people that are young now, 20 years from now, say, "Oh, it was better when LeBron was playing," and that's how it always works. I remember when I was a kid, and everyone said, "Oh, these guys suck, man." In the late 80s, they're not as good, back in the old Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. Those guys were when they dominated the NBA. Oh my God.
But we had the good. I mean, because we had this with Dick Stockton, a month or two ago when we talked about some of the instant classics with him calling games for CBS. I mean, today's age group, the youngins, they can't reference that stuff because they go to Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and everything else.
No, but I'm saying, like, to me, there's the Goldilocks zone when you become a fan, and like the rest of your life, it's usually between the ages of like 9 and 12.
Yeah.
And because that's like the first time you'll remember. A lot of people don't remember stuff before then. They'll just have vague memories.
Yeah.
So like everything, like for me, I loved wrestling. And when I was like 9, 10, 11, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, George the Animal Steel, like all those guys that were popular, like to me, that's the greatest of all time. But if you're a kid that grew up with a different group of wrestlers, those are going to be the greatest wrestlers of all time. So
yeah, I mean, Attitude Era gives them a shot. Like The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, HBK, like those guys give them a run for their money. I'll say that much.
Well, good news, Gascon. Skip DeZip, the Roastmaster General from Ohio, has checked in. He says, "This is the best crap I've watched all day." Congratulations. And Rich says, "More nicer, bad grammar, bad job by you. Gag on." So there you go.
That's good. Beautiful thing.
Mr. Myers says Gascon is rocking the Sonny Crockett beard. There you go. Solid.
We got a haircut today. Got the shave on. You should applaud me for that.
You went to the barbershop. How much did you? Wait. Here's a bonus trivia question. Don't answer this, Gascon. How much do you think David Gascon you paid for your? Yes.
Of course, I paid for it. What the fuck you think I did with it?
Did you pay for your haircut?
Yeah, of course I paid for my haircut.
Some people, because east of the 405, we cut our hair ourselves. All right. So how much do you think?
You pluck your hair because you have like hairs, like you pluck them.
Wow.
Big difference.
Right, so the question is, how much do you think Gascon spent on his haircut? And I'm going to wait until we get a few answers, and then we'll move on here as we're making good time, Gascon. We have one more game in the late television window, and then we have to get to Sunday night, and then Monday night and Tuesday night football.
Feels like Maction, right? We got the Mac playing on Tuesday nights, and we got it in the NFL now.
How pissed off are the executives at Major League Baseball that there's going to be a Tuesday night NFL game where they've got the ALCS and the NLCS going? They're like, You got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. We can't catch a break.
Well,
what's up with that?
Just imagine if Miami wins tonight and they push this to a game. What will be a game 6?
Yeah. That's
you get a
true.
game 6 and a game 7, and they've already been talking about their ratings being a complete bust. So that'll be an additional kick in the balls.
Some of the guesses coming in here. Just Josh says you paid $12.75.
Like, where do you get the 75 cents
Pierre
from?
Also known as that's an Ohio thing. And Alf, the alien opiner, he chimes in. He says $10. He also says you overpaid. Daniel checks in. He's going with $20, which is far too much. Renee says $20. Rich says that Gascon, you got it for free after 5 fill-ups at 76. Skip also says he changed his answer. He says now it's $59.
So I go from a barbershop to a salon. That's great.
Gio says a $15 haircut at a barbershop. Daniel says, go Miami. Absolutely. Go Heat, go. We agree. We're Heat fans on this show. Absolutely. All right, reveal answers, Gascon. How much? I'm going to guess you paid minimum. Let me turn around, turn your head a little bit to the side. Let me see the side. Oh, yeah, there's some work there. There's a little fade action. That is a $70 haircut.
Definitely not.
$70.
Are you out of your fucking mind? $70 for a haircut? I'm not in Las Vegas.
$70.
Tip included $30.
$30? That's it with the tip included? Really?
$30 is a lot.
Man.
$30 is a lot.
Every time I go to the bar, I've told the story before, Gascon, but when I go to the barber, they just decide the price is different every time I go, and my hair has gotten thinner and thinner as I've gotten older, and the price keeps going up. It's the most frustrating thing. So maybe I'm actually going to start cutting my hair at home.
Maybe it's karma for you going to every single Costco to pick out free samples every weekend. It's a little bit karma, giving and getting.
Yeah. By the way, they're questioning whether or not you left the tip. Rillo says he does not think you actually left the tip.
Listen,
Jimbo says you paid two hands $20.
I'm just thankful that as you read the comments section that these guys could actually spell these words. I think that's a reason for a big applause too. I think you got a lot of these.
You're still taking shots. You taking shots at our guy in Phoenix still, huh? Is that what you're doing?
I just, and most of these guys are they're not splitting the atom here, Ben. I think you can agree with me on that. They're
yeah, and we're talking about sports. Who the hell cares? It's not brain surgery here.
Well, we can go third rail if you want. We can mix it up a little bit.
You know what you should do when I talk is you should be like the vice presidential debate and make just like weird gestures when I'm talking.
Just make some roll my eyes, stick out my tongue, just start laughing in between.
Well, make weird gestures, and then no one can criticize you because no, you can't criticize. Oh my God! Right.
You be sports splaining me, right? Or not mansplaining, but sports splaining me.
Yeah. Alf says I should get a Floby. I love the Floby commercial. Was great. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, you gotta have the wifey bicket, and then just have full beard. You got the look. Just let it free, man. Let it free. Let the dogs out.
Oh, it doesn't matter because I wear hats anyway. All right, let's get back to the game.
All right, speaking of dogs, Indy and Cleveland, yes.
All right, so Indy is 3-1. Cleveland also 3-1. It's on CBS. Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta have the call on CBS. This game is a pick'em. To me, this is the game of the weekend as far as competition is concerned. The Colts open a 1-point favorite. And it's going to be cloudy, 65 degrees in downtown Cleveland at First Energy Stadium. I'm going to take the Colts in this game. I like Indy, thanks in large part to a soft schedule. The Colts coming into this game are the NFL's top scoring defense. They are allowing 14 points per game. Now, that number's a little inflated because of the competition. Indy is also the sixth best run defense. To me, that's the most important thing, because if you're going to beat Cleveland, you want to force Baker Mayfield to make plays. Cleveland is averaging 5.9 yards per attempt. They have one of the top running attacks in football. They rotate running backs in. Now, they do have some injuries in the running game, but the offensive line has absolutely dominated. They're like IHOP. They serve up pancake blocks, that offensive line. They're so good. And the Colts have the worst running attack in the league. So it's one of these weird situations where you got a team that can run versus the team that doesn't run. Everyone's been kissing the Browns' ass. They're trying to get to 4-1. They have not been 4-1 since 1994. I believe Bill Belichick was the coach in 1994 when the Browns got off to that start. This would be just their fifth 4-1 start since the Super Bowl era in Cleveland. And they have scored 30 points or more in three straight games for the first time since 1968. And one of the other things here, I look at certain mental aspects of it, because the mental part of the game, all week, Cleveland has been the toast of the NFL because they scored so many points against the Cowboys. And I'm guessing that Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham are smelling themselves a little bit, if you know what I'm saying here, how good they are and how good they look. the Browns defense is going to give some problems to Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis is a better team. Phillip Rivers, he has done a very good job as well because the Colts offensive line has allowed him to be pretty much pressure free. He's only had pressure on 15% of his throws all season. So they've done a great job. I'm going to take the Colts to win it late. Indianapolis 27 and the Cleveland Browns 23.
Penny's going with skip to zip and going with the Cleveland Browns for the win. At least, and with this game too, at least the one thing that's guaranteed is you're not going to push either way, unless, God forbid, it ends in another tie like the Eagles earlier this season with the Bengals. But going with the Browns, going with the Brownies.
Skip the zip says, he says, "Shame on you, Ben. The Browns are going to win." Yeah, shocking. Renee says, "Are there any good bars in Orange County to get a drink?"
Yeah, you can go to Mastro's in Newport Beach, and you can go to Javier's in Newport Beach. Just go to Newport Beach, and you can't go wrong.
Wow.
What do you mean,
All
wow?
right. There's plenty of places in Orange County that are not. Go to Orange, go to Santa Ana where the people are. All right, next up, Minnesota 1-3 at Seattle 4-0. It's on NBC, the Peacock Network. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. The Seahawks opened a 7-point favorite. Actually, they were 7.5. It's 7 now. Yep. Rainy and 55 degrees. That is a classical Seattle forecast for kickoff at CenturyLink Field. A beautiful stadium, Gascon. It looked really good from the outside. I don't know what it looks like on the inside, because the asshole Seahawks wouldn't allow me in their fucking stadium, but that's all right. Not that I'm bitter, Gascon. Not that I'm bitter. But I'm going to take the Vikings in this game. The Vikings tasting from the holy water of winning last week. They now have a chance to sneak closer to 500. Mike Zimmer, he was the story of the week. Did you see the story? He's dating an Instagram model, and she sent out a couple of scantily clad photos on the internet. And Mike Zimmer, who's in his 60s, dating a young lady in her 30s. Way to go, Zim. And he was tabloid fodder.
Wait, hold on. Before you get into any of this, of all the things that you send me, you didn't send me that?
Well, I used it on the show. So I thought you listened to the show, you'd get it.
I can't see any pictures on a radio show. I'd appreciate it if you,
Okay. I thought you only wanted the political stories I sent you. I didn't realize you wanted the other stories I get. I had no idea.
I'm a basket of goodness, so I'd appreciate it next time if you could send me something like that. Thanks.
Oh, by the way, good news. Steve says he will take me to a game. He's got season tickets. Look at this guy. Steve's a baller. How about that?
Unbelievable.
This guy's loaded, man. That guy's loaded. What? I don't think he'll be able to take me this year because no one's allowed at the games. But next season, right? Yeah. All right.
Can we at least stay away from one social media application where you don't panhandle for free goodies from somebody?
I'm not. I was just pointing out. I thought that I enjoyed Seattle. I love going to Seattle, and CenturyLink Field looked beautiful from the outside. That's all I was saying.
Let Steve make his own money and spend it how he wishes. Don't make him force you to come up there. It's
all right. I gotta watch the end of this damn Yankee game. So
all right, hurry up.
Here. All right, next up, what do we got here? Let's go.
Wait, you didn't pick the game.
I'm picking the game, dummy. All right, to me, the key here is ball security. I'm a little concerned I'm taking the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins, he is second in the NFL in interceptions so far this season. And that is the one thing the Seahawks have been very good at. The Seattle defense has forced at least one turnover in every game this season. That makes up a little bit for how bad they've been. The Seahawks, I believe, are smoke and mirrors until that defense plays better. They're the only undefeated team in the NFL allowing 400 or more yards per game to their opponent. And that is a recipe for heartache down the line. Even Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's not that good, had 315 yards passing last week. This bodes well for Minnesota. They have the 1-2 punch with Dalvin Cook in the backfield. Kirk Cousins, who's starting and getting going the last couple of weeks. There are going to be yards to be gained. And much like I could not take Dallas with their defense and their problems there, I took the Giants in that game. I'm going to take Minnesota because they're a more complete team, but I just can't lay a touchdown with a defense as bad as Seattle's defense is. So Seahawks will win the game, but I'll take the Vikings to cover. Seahawks 30 and the Vikings 27.
Penny's going with the home team in this one. The Seattle Seahawks for the win and the cover.
All right, we keep the train moving. How about this? By the way, Alf in the chat, he just gave the Instagram page of the model that Mike Zimmer is dating.
That's pretty good.
Yes. Rob in Vegas says the Browns are going to crap all over the Colts. Well, don't the Browns crap over everybody? That's kind of what they do. All right, next up.
Yes.
That was a joke. Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Chargers at 1-3. New Orleans 3-1. It's on ESPN with Steve Levy, Brian Griese, and Louis Riddick. How do you think those guys are doing? I think they're just
I think they're good.
I don't think they're good. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're kind of there. You know, there's nothing spectacular. They're not horrible. They're an upgrade over the guys they had last year. Booger and that Hardo guy that was doing play-by-play. But
Joe Tessitore, yeah. Well, it's different, though, because Louis Riddick came from the studio, so now he's inside with Griese and Steve Levy. Levy's great when he does the NHL. I think ESPN's going to get the NHL package back, too. He's always been good with them, but I think Griese and him, they've worked college games all year, last year.
I don't think Brian Griese's all that good. I thought his dad was good, but maybe it's just because I liked his dad more. But I don't think he's as good as his dad was at color commentary. But he's new. He's new. It takes time to get your legs underneath you.
Yeah. It's always better. It's always better when the lead doesn't undercut everyone else he's working with, chopping everyone else, stabbing him in the back. Trashing him publicly. Anyways, I digress. Chargers, Saints.
I bet it's also nice to work on a broadcast where the production staff knows what they're doing. I bet that's probably pretty good too. Like they hit the buttons and make sure everything works good for the talent.
That's assuming the buttons actually work.
Interesting.
It's assuming the buttons actually work. The computers are actually upgraded. But anyways.
Gio says that Zimmer probably pays per hour. That's a low blow. Come on, man. That's not right. All right. The Saints, 7.5-point home favorite here at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. 77 degrees outside the dome in New Orleans. I'm going to take the Chargers. Ooh. Show me your lightning bolt. I'm taking the Chargers to cover the spread. Now, Drew Brees looked much better last week. I was killing him. He wasn't throwing the ball down the field. He did against the Lions. Is that a byproduct of Detroit sucking this week? Extra focus and all that. Lynn got to be having an ulcer at practice as the defensive guru and head coach. And one of the things that I like these trends. I kind of look at them from time to time. This week I took a look at the trends. Since Anthony Lynn took over for the Los Angeles Chargers, the Bolts are 10-4-3 against the spread as a road underdog. They pushed last week, so that was one of the pushes. But that's a 7-14 winning percentage as a road dog for the Chargers under head coach Anthony Lynn. That is the NFL's third best record in that time period there. So he's done a very good job for teams that have been a 10-plus or 10-plus times been an underdog on the road. And I love the fact that Justin Herbert, who's been a top 15 quarterback, is going to start again. He's the guy now. It's been as easy as ABC for Justin Herbert. And he sliced up the Bucs for 3 quarters and then sucked in the 4th quarter. But I'll take this. Another one of these games, I think the Saints win, but the Chargers keep it close. Saints 28, Chargers 21.
Penny's also going with you on this one, going with the LA Chargers.
All right. Mr. Myers writes in, he says, Ben, do you do the voice of Blair in Maine like Phil Henry used to do? No. We have a big budget, though. We pay a lot of money to have callers. We pay Marcel in Brooklyn's a character actor, Cowboy in Windsor, Weedman Hippie, Philexis, Ed in Spokane, also paid actors. Yeah, so. Rob in Vegas says, is Ed and Christina going to score their daily heroin habit and attend the game or just pick it outside the stadium? Come on, Rob. How dare you, Rob? Those are good people. How dare you? Shame on you, you scumbag. Those are my friends. All right. Next up for us, Gascon, we've got your Denver Broncos at New England. This game is going to kick off at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock in the West, assuming the game gets played on Monday. Kevin Harlan and Trent Green have the call. Now, this is 2 weeks in a row Kevin Harlan's gotten screwed because he usually does a game on Sunday and then does the Monday night game on Westwood One Radio. Obviously, he can't be in two places at the same time, so he's not going to be able to call the radio call. Kevin Harlan and Trent Green on the call, as I said. Patriots, an 11-point favorite in this game.
Whoa.
Whoa.
There's a change on this one. This one went to ESPN, I saw.
That's not what I saw.
I read from your boy Marchand out in New York. He said that Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit are on the call for this one.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. I stand corrected. I did not see that.
I sent you a text. I sent you a text on it, and I specifically said it's for your capping purposes. But
hold on. I'm looking here. When did you send the text?
I sent it today, probably like around 12 or 1 o'clock.
I'm looking. Hold on a sec here.
Yeah.
I see stuff about Hillary Clinton here. I see.
They did nothing of the sort.
There's a Rush Limbaugh. Oh, yes. You sent it while I was fast asleep. Yeah, you sent it while I was fast asleep. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. There you go. All right. Yeah. So I guess Kevin Harlan will do the Monday night game instead.
The way I produce for you is at all times of the day. So you should just say thank you and move on and acknowledge your mistake.
Well, I had guys texting me, did you see that Trump was on with Limbaugh? I'm like, Limbaugh does an overnight show for me. I love Limbaugh, but he's on in the middle of the night, man. I can't be listening to Rush. I got to sleep at some point, man. God.
Fair enough.
All right, anyway, Denver and New England. I'm going to take the Patriots. It's going to be rainy at kickoff at Gillette Stadium. Now, you would say, why on God's green earth would you take the Patriots? Because you got Stephon Gilmore's out with the corona. Cam Newton's out with the corona. There's some other players that might not play. To me, there's really no way to handicap the game. The only way I'm handicapping the game, I'm only using one criteria, Gascon. Bill Belichick versus the rookie quarterback, Brett Rippon. So I know the Patriots are going to win. Bill Belichick has eaten up, gobble. He's eaten up rookie quarterbacks. Okay? In fact, I've got the numbers here. Bill Belichick, since he took over in New England, at home is 13-0 against rookie quarterbacks. He's won 8 straight games against them going back to 2013, and most of those games have not even been close. He is going to confuse, bewilder, and hornswoggle Brett Rippon. He will be totally flummoxed by the end of this game. So the Patriots, it's going to be ugly. They're not going to score all that many points because, let's be honest here, Brian Hoyer is the quarterback, not exactly God's gift to the NFL. So I am going to take the Patriots 20 and the Broncos 6.
Penny's going with the Denver Broncos in this one. A little bit of a surprise.
All right, last game here, Gascon. Last game, Tuesday night. Yes, Gascon?
Can we at least get trivia one more time before we wrap up the show?
All right, look at you. You're trying to elongate the show. All right, let's get trivia. And remember, for those of you just coming in right now, you click the button. Yeah, the thumbs up button right there. That helps us out. But let's do the trivia. And you guys in the chat, answer quickly so we can get on with the show.
All right, Romeo Crennel. Before Romeo Crennel, I was the oldest head coach in NFL history before coaching my final game at 72 years, 318 days. Who am I? Brought to you by Fanatics. If you guys want to support the show, back it up. The description in this broadcast, there's a link there. You can click on that link, purchase any kind of athletic attire that you like. We get credit for it. Help support the cause and buy anything that you want. And do not buy it for Ben.
Why not?
Because you got enough shit from everybody.
I don't have enough shit. I need more shit.
Yeah.
I'm the Mad Hatter. I got to wear a different hat every night, man. I do.
Oh.
I don't go, I go, There's no need for,
Not Hubie Brown.
Yeah. Now, if the Yankees get a no-hitter in this game here, and so far it's in the 5th inning and they've not given up a hit as we're doing this in real time.
Yeah.
Is this like one of the great moments in Yankee postseason history? Or not really, it's the divisional round, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's far behind Don Larson's perfect game, but...
Well, we'll see. Garrett Cole is pitching today for the Yankees. We'll see how far Garrett Cole goes, because the Yankees, if they win this game, they're going to want to bring Garrett Cole back pretty quick, right? They're going to want to bring him back early in that series against the Astros.
Would you put that ahead of, was it the Jeffrey Meyer game against Baltimore?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was great sports talk radio at that time. That was amazing sports radio.
Yeah.
Was it Richie Garcia was the umpire? Was that the umpire that made the call, Richie Garcia? I think it was.
I forget, but that thing was awful.
that kid's like in his 30s now or something like that. I mean, he's an old dude. Yeah.
YouTube sensation before YouTube.
That's true. That's true. All right, the answer's coming in. Let's see here. Mr. Luciano says Whitey Bulger is the answer. Jimbo is going with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, come on. Who else? Wayne Fonts from Mr. Myers. Marv Levy was guessed by Just Josh. Steve. Who else do we have? Alf, the alien opiner, is going with Gump Worsley. That's a good one. Hubie Brown was guessed. The old NBA coach, Hubie Brown. Let's see. Page down. Whitey Bulger was tossed out by Mr. Luciano. I don't know if I mentioned that. Rest in peace to Whitey Ford. I saw that he passed away, a Yankee pitching legend.
91, yeah.
Yeah. I see Aaron Boone said that he was watching the Yankee game when he died. See that?
Pretty sad.
What do you want to be watching when you die, Gascon? What do you want to be watching?
I don't want to be watching anything. I hope I'm going peacefully into the night. I hope I do it when I sleep.
Yeah. I don't think there's a good way to go, Right?
Yeah, in your sleep. Not painful at all, I would imagine.
I've heard it's still painful, though. Yeah.
Who have you heard it from? The dead people?
I read it online.
Oh, boy.
Well, I've unfortunately seen some relatives pass away. It does not seem like a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
But we're all gonna get the joy of it someday. So we'll find out. We'll find out how good it is or how bad it is.
Anyways, last game, George House was the answer. We go from that to the Tuesday night affair.
It wasn't Archie Cunningham?
No. It wasn't Cotton Fitzsimmons either.
Now, you want me to handicap a game on a Friday that's going to be played on a Tuesday when half the team on Tennessee has the corona?
Very dangerous. This is like tightrope walking across, I don't know, like a couple different mountains from Tokyo, Japan to the state of Washington. But yeah, this is dangerous.
Yeah, all right. So Buffalo's 4-0, Tennessee's 3-0. It's on CBS. You got to check that out. I am going to take the Buffalo Bills. Tom McCarthy and Jay Feely have this, unless it's on ESPN also. Maybe they'll just put every game on ESPN. I don't know.
How about that, though, for CBS, though? They get 2 primetime games on Monday and Tuesday now, last week and now this week.
Well, I thought you just didn't. Well, yeah, last week and this week. But why? How did that Monday night game end up on ESPN? Did ESPN complain? Because the ratings for that Green Bay Atlanta game were not that good.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Kansas City New England game killed the ESPN Monday Night Football game last week in the ratings because it was a better game. It was a more Belichick versus Mahomes. All right, so listen. Well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. It's going to be 68 degrees, partly sunny. What do you want me to do? I mean, I it's like throwing darts. I'm throwing darts right there. Is what I'm doing on this game because of the COVID. But I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. Why not? There are some things to like about Tennessee in this game. Buffalo's pass defense is 27th, so maybe Ryan Tannehill can have a big day. But there's such a difference between these two teams. Buffalo has been a big play team, a chunk play team. They've had 21 plays of at least 20 yards this season, second most in the NFL. Only Dallas has had more. And Tennessee has the fewest. They've only played 3 games, but they have only 9 plays of 20 or more yards. So that is the only stat I'm looking at, Gascon, because there's no point in doing anything more than that because we don't know who's going to be playing. But I'm going to take the Bills 27 and the Titans 20 on Tuesday Night Football. How cool is that? A Tuesday night NFL game. Sign me up for that every week. I'm down with it.
Penny is going with the Buffalo Bills in the safe play. A top 5 offense, scoring, rushing, yards per game. Josh Allen, Devin Singletary and company going with the Buffalo Bills.
Now, Gascon, couldn't they actually play Tuesday? As long as they could play Tuesday, but whoever plays on Tuesday would have to play the following Monday night.
Well, they
So
could, but
right?
they already had the schedule set, and now the Bills, who were actually supposed to play on Thursday Night Football, they've had their game moved now to Sunday. So
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that, but I'm saying in future years, if they wanted to make Tuesday a football night, Tuesday football night in America,
yeah,
you could set the schedule up. Logistically, it would work. You just whoever plays on Tuesday, although you'd have to do it where one of the teams plays the following Monday and the other team has a bye.
yeah.
Right? Wouldn't that be the way you would have to do it? And then logistically, it would work out.
Yeah, the only thing you have to do is negotiate between the league and the networks with Fox, CBS, and ESPN to see who gets the rights for that, because you know that they'll be fighting like cats and dogs over it. I mean,
Well, isn't Tuesday a big night in television? Well, Tuesday's a night there's people home watching TV. They're not going out. Isn't that usually how?
What was it last year? I think it was 40 or 43. The top 50 programs in 2019 were all NFL related. It was either football, NFL, or college football.
Hey, before the NBA game gets going here, you want to make a prediction on how low the ratings are tonight on a Friday night NBA game? They've lost 60% of their audience, the NBA, during the finals.
What was it? Game 5 was 7 million fans, right?
I believe every game it's gotten less and less in the finals. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's terrible.
Yeah, I'll say 8.5 million people watched tonight's game.
8.5. I'm gonna go under.
Okay.
I'm gonna go under on that. Pierre, also known as Alf, the alien opiner, says, "Let's play food picks." Okay, Pierre. I had a delicious pizza. I sent Gascon a photo of it. You shat all over my homemade pizza pie. An amazing pie. It was delicious. Cooking with Benny. And tomorrow I'm going to make rip-off Raising Cane's chicken fingers at the Maller Mansion. So I'm killing it in the kitchen, Gascon, is what I'm doing. I am dominating the kitchen game is what I am doing.
It's repulsive, and I'd prefer you never talk about your cooking skills ever again. It's fucking sad.
Steve says coronavirus wins and covers on this game. All right, hey, before we get out of here, you have to go, Gascon. May I recommend the Fifth Hour with Ben Maller, and we do a full, thorough review on how inept you were, Gascon, as my producer on the Saturday podcast. We go into great detail about all the mistakes that took place there. You were complaining the whole time.
Yeah.
And what else did we talk about? I'm trying to remember what else we were going to talk about. I had the mailbag on Sunday.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. We got the pop quiz on there as well.
Arnie Spanier was really good today. I had a good time listening to you guys talk about some of the old school stuff with you guys traveling, some of the jacuzzi parties you guys were getting into with some unsuspecting women.
I love Arnie, man. Arnie's great. Arnie's like an old-time radio guy. And I've known Arnie for 20 years. I can't believe I've known him for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the photo that we talked about in the podcast. I can't find it. I did find a photo of Arnie I took of him standing in Indianapolis, like pointing at this Pacers sign. We were in Indiana for a Pacers-Lakers series.
Yeah.
But I have it somewhere in my office here, and I don't know. I got a lot of crap in here, but it was me, Tony Bruno, Arnie, and a couple other of the hosts, and we were all standing around in a group photo. It was great. It was a great photo, and I wanted to tweet it out, but I can't find it. I don't know where I put the damn thing. So if I find it, I'll tweet it out. But by the time I find it, it'll be another 10 years probably.
Was it a Polaroid, or was it one of the roll cameras, the disposable ones that you printed out?
Oh yeah. That's the problem. See, I found some photos when I was in Vero Beach. I was like a kid. I was in my early 20s. We were at Dodger spring training.
Yeah.
And there were no, the cell phone. You couldn't take a selfie, so everything was film and all that. And you try to take a selfie, and it's hard. You got to hold the camera like this, that whole thing, and it's like this. It was the Stone Age, Gascon. I can't believe we lived without the selfie. My God, how did we survive?
Well, to think though, we progressed so much that now we got people taking selfies with masks on, like they're actually being so. The virtual signaling is powerful. The pearl clutching is tremendous these days. Let me take a selfie with a mask on.
Don't get me started. I go for these walks every day because I refuse to go to the gyms because King Newsom ruined the gyms in California. And so I go for these walks and I count the cars because I'm a loser like this. How many people that drive by are going to have their mask on and how many people are not going to have their mask on? And it's crazy. It's like, I think it's about 4 out of every 10 cars people have the mask on. 4 out of 40% of people drive around with a mask on with their windows up in their car. Let me tell you something. If the coronavirus is that deadly, we're all fucked. Okay, you know what I'm saying, Gascon?
Yeah.
If sitting in your car with your windows up, you need a mask on to protect you. We got bigger problems. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Well, don't forget, November 3rd, things will probably be a little bit different.
Oh, are you predicting who's going to win the election?
No, but might need to do a special edition of Benny versus the Penny that week leading up to it. So that's a good idea.
All right, we'll do that. Can I go now? I need to watch the rest of the
Yes,
game.
you can go as I've been trying to go for the last 15 minutes.
Bullcrap! You added a trivia question in, man. How dare you? We're in bonus time right now. We're in bonus time.
Don't forget, everyone that's watching the show tonight, if you want to go back, the show will be timestamped, so all of Ben's picks will be on there on the description. It'll be on demand, so you can be able to watch it either tonight or first thing in the morning. You can watch it for Sunday, Monday, and obviously Tuesday. Don't forget, thumbs up, rate it, subscribe it. Hit the subscribe button. You'll get a reminder on it each and every week that we do the show.
Hey, by the way, we have an international audience here, Gascon. The great Terry in England, a brigadier general of the Maller Militia.
He's more of a fan of me, not you, but that's fine.
No, he likes me, asshole. He likes me. So he has checked in. Steve has just checked in late to hear the last couple of minutes here. Renee says, I will win. He says, Ben's going to win 11 games this week. It is a lock.
We'll see.
So
Best of luck to you. Last week was not so good. Hopefully this week is much, much better.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend. Remember the 5th Hour podcast, 5th Hour. I'm back on the radio on Fox on Sunday night, and you will not be there, Gascon, to ruin the show, yes?
You never, ever know. We'll find out.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys. I'll see you.